Hi everyone, this is Manjula Vedala from Vedash Wealth Talk, and this is my second podcast, and I'm very excited because I'm here with Dr. Aarti Gerald. Dr. Aarti Gerald is a career mentor, college entry advisor, and student startup enthusiast. She has over 20 years of experience in higher education space, and for over a decade as a part of Silicon Valley based nonprofit. She has worked with leading academicians from institutes across the globe, such as Stanford, Columbia University, London Business School, and more. Her deep understanding of the global education systems makes it most relevant for helping students to pursue their dreams of studying top colleges. Having mentored several students to identify a meaningful career path and the right college fit, she finds it greatly satisfying to shape the future of youngsters. She holds a PhD in management and is certified by Stanford University Mentor Program. Hi, Arti. Welcome to my second podcast.
I'm very excited to be in this podcast because I think college planning can be very overwhelming for many families, especially because there are so many moving parts to it, right? Grades, activities, essays, application deadlines, scholarships, and most importantly, also finances. So many unknowns. And I think our goal of making college planning simple and practical is something I'm really excited to pursue together.
So, Arti, let me ask you some questions. A lot of parents think college planning starts in 11th or 12th grade. Is that too late? When is the best age or grade to start?
I think ideally families should start thinking about college planning when their children are towards the end of middle school itself, right? Or at least in the beginning of high school. I don't think that starting so early can cause, pressure on the children because sometimes that is the misconception, right? It is very important to be able to do this by starting early at a comfortable pace, strategically and intentionally. And that's why I would suggest, start as early as you can, and if you are yet to start, even when you are in any stage of high school, you should still get started. Manjula, when do you think financial planning should start?
Honestly, the earlier the better. But if your child is already in high school, don't panic. That's what I usually tell parents. There's still a lot of strategies that can be implemented. But parents need to understand three things earlier: how much college may cost, what they are expected to pay, and what options they have to reduce the burden. So many families are focused only on admissions, but the financial side is also important. College is not just an education decision, it's also a major financial decision. So planning early helps parents prepare for savings, scholarships, financial aid, and even tax strategies, and how to avoid taking unnecessary debt. So that is the most important thing that I feel. So early as better is, it's always a good thing. What do you see parents missing the most when it comes to the college admissions?
There are two big things. One, most parents focus only on grades and test scores, right?
Yes.
Of course, academics are important, but colleges also want to understand that the student is a whole person, right? They are looking for a holistic profile. And often I see when students, when they come to us, they might be in their, ninth grade or 10th grade, and they say, like, I was very busy with academics, therefore I dropped sports or I dropped my, music. I was pursuing dance for many years. I stopped doing it because I wanted to have the time to focus on my academics. So, what you're actually doing there is a big mistake. You are actually letting go of the opportunity for the student to show the colleges that they have been consistent about something and they were able to manage their time effectively by doing things both inside and outside of the classroom. And also, colleges want to see how consistent you were, how perseverant you were. Are you a team player? Are you doing things beyond just academics? They really want to understand that. What else are your interests? Who are you as a person beyond academics? Of course, it's a very, very big factor. It's a foundation, but you also need other elements. And then another big mistake is creating a college list which is completely focused only on brand name and rankings. Brand name and ranking is important, but whether that program and that particular school and college is a good fit for your child is something that they have to really evaluate. So whether it is, good fit in terms of academic fit, social fit, emotionally and financially, whether it is going to be a good fit for the student and the family is something they should not miss out on. So these are the two big mistakes that we should avoid. And I think there could be some mistakes they make even in financial planning, right? So would you like to elaborate on that?
From the financial side of it, one big mistake is waiting until the child gets accepted and then asking, how are we going to pay for this? And then another mistake is they assume that they will not qualify for anything and they don't even explore financial aid or scholarships. And because parents do not understand how their income, assets, savings, business income, or investments can affect their financial aid picture. So the expected family contribution, which is now referred as the student aid index, can be very, very confusing. But families needs to understand what colleges may expect them to contribute. So the key here is don't guess. Plan early, understand your numbers, and make informed decisions. And that's where there are financial people that can help. What should students do to increase their chances of getting scholarships?
So, Manjula, what I spoke about a holistic profile in general to get into good colleges applies to scholarships also, the same criteria. Academics, yes, is an important thing, but there are also scholarships available for people who don't have perfect grades. They can be based upon your leadership, your service, your talents, your background, your interests. Also, some of these are based on sometimes specific majors have certain scholarships that are offered. And the advice I always give parents when they look for scholarship is try to look at scholarships which are substantial in amount. I know some students start writing a lot of essays for scholarships worth just $2,000, right? It's not worth it to spend your time and energy on it. I would say be strategic and target it towards the institution where you're going to get admissions from. And those scholarships are typically substantial, right? From full ride scholarships to anything between like $5,000 to $8,000, right? So that is the target you should have. And when you actually start building your profile early, then you can also build your scholarship potential sufficiently. Consistency is key in scholarship potential. So that can happen only when you start early. And you also do things which are meaningful. When you talk about activities and taking leadership roles, you should not be actually taking different things at different points of time, like hop, skip, jump, take one activity this time and, in another 2 months you go to something else, right? So you have to keep track of your achievements and build the momentum for this. So that is what is important. And of course, what we should understand is how well you write your essays is definitely important. I know there is usually college applications, people only think about essays. There are a lot of other moving parts which we're talking about now. What we should very, very importantly remember is that a strong application is not built overnight.
Yes, definitely.
It's built over time, strategically and intentionally. So that is what will help you get those scholarships. Also, Manjula, I wanted to ask you, can parents reduce the college financial stress?
Yes, definitely. So, but first they need to know their numbers. What can they realistically afford? What do they already have saved? What are their gaps? And then, second, they should understand the difference between savings, financial aid, scholarships, and the grants, loans, and work study. There are a lot of things in this. And then the third, families should look at college selection very carefully. Sometimes two colleges may offer very different financial packages. So, the most expensive school on paper may not always be the most expensive after 8, and the cheaper school may not be always be the best value. And most importantly, parents should not sacrifice their entire retirement for college. So we need to definitely help our kids, but we also need to have a plan that protects the whole family from the financial side. So can you give me a simple roadmap by grade, Arti, from to 12?
Like I said, it's always a 4-year plan, right?
Yeah,
So we
definitely.
call it a 4-year plan for a reason. The emphasis is there on it for a reason. So in ninth grade, children actually jump from middle school to high school, and it's a huge leap for them to adapt to the new demands of the academic rigor.
Yeah.
So that is one where they start building their good study habits. They start planning their 4-year coursework as well. Some guidance and understanding at that time itself will help you optimize your GPA over the next few years. And also starting to explore interests both in clubs and in subjects. That's what they do. Typically, it's exploration and preparation, getting ready, warming up, I would say, in ninth grade. And then 10th grade, you start slowly narrowing down on things, including your clubs and other activities. You become more sure about what you want to do. You start gearing up yourself for leadership positions. And then you actually start looking at career exploration as well in terms of the course pathways and also through any other projects that you're doing. Then the 11th grade, I would say, like, 10th grade summer onwards itself, I would say start focusing on your standardized testing, right? And start also consolidating your resume. All the exploration you have been doing now, you start consolidating it. Start also focusing more on deeper career oriented activities such as internships in the domain that you're interested in pursuing your career in. So intensive intellectual pursuits like research projects. And that would also allow you to gain more clarity about the major that you want to pursue. Build your narrative for the colleges to show how you developed that interest. That is one important thing in 11th grade. So, predominantly college readiness is what I would say. And also, the next step they should do towards end of 11th grade, just before starting off your 12th grade. The 11th grade summer is very, very important because that's when you actually start doing a thorough research about universities you want to apply to, colleges, and then look at, what each program has to offer for you there. And you should not do a superficial search by ranking and say, okay, this is where I want to go. Start seeing whether it's really a good fit. This is the time for you to really analyze and consolidate and start putting things in together in a comprehensive way. And then your 12th grade, early 12th grade is where you actually focus a lot on the application logistics,
Yes.
getting the right recommendations, your application deadlines, your final decisions, of course, towards end of your 12th grade. So, how you use the summer between each of these grades is also very, very important. So, that is an important part of this roadmap, right? So, exploration to career definition to consolidation to actually college application. That's, transition of the roadmap, I would say.
Yeah,
Fourth,
thank you so much for that. It's very clear.
I would say, like, then, I think there might be something like this for the financial roadmap also, right, Manjula? Might be able to draw something.
I think for financial, I think it should start way early than high school, definitely, because when the child is young or in the middle school, at least, parents should should start saving and also learn what their options are. I feel it's better to save when they're in elementary school, but then start exploring the options when they're in the middle school. And then in the ninth and 10th grade, they can start estimating college costs and also understanding how their income and assets may affect the aid. That would be a good point in the ninth and 10th grade. And in the 11th grade, parents should start getting serious about FAFSA, CSS profile if applicable, and scholarships and any kind of school cost. All these things they need to get really, really serious about in 11th grade. And then in the 12th grade, they need to compare award letters very carefully. So do not just look at the acceptance letter, but look at the final cost, loans, grants, scholarships, and long term impact. See, the goal is not just getting into college, the goal is choosing a college wisely and paying it smartly. That should be the goal. Aarti, I know, I wanted to mention to our viewers also that we are doing a seminar on college admissions and the financial planning for the college on July 11th from 4 to 6 p.m. in Plano. Can you talk a little bit about that seminar? Why do you think the parents should attend that seminar?
Sure, Manjula. I'm also very excited for that seminar that we'll be co-hosting. I think this seminar will give parents a very clear roadmap, right? Everything that we've been talking about now will be delved more deeply, and we will be covering about everything on college admissions, academics, finances, scholarships, practical next steps for the future of children. And I also feel that, instead of just searching online on your own to be doing things on their own, they can actually get professional advice and help. For the experiences that we've had in our, many decades of experience, they can benefit from that when they meet us. They could also ask us more questions in person. So all of this, I think, is why they should join us. I think they will also learn how to support their children academically, emotionally, and financially through the college journey. So that's why they should join us.
I will also talk about how our parents can approach college from financial planning perspective. And we'll also discuss how to prepare early, how to think about scholarships, financial aid, especially how to reduce that expected family contribution towards the financial aid. So this is a good way to come in person and actually learn more. And then if they have any questions, you can talk to them in person and then kind of answer those questions also. Like you mentioned, there's a lot of information online, but see, parents don't have time. Somebody should guide them because they're also going through this the first time. They can always try to find on ChatGPT or on the Google, but it's so much noise. So that's where we come in and reduce that noise and exactly guide them in a proper. This will help parents understand that college planning is not just about paying tuition. It's about protecting the family's cash flow, avoiding unnecessary debt, and also create a plan that supports the kid and the parent, both the college admissions side and also the financial side of it. Thank you so much, Aarti, for this podcast. I think we gave a small glimpse to all our viewers during the seminar. We're going to go really deep into it. I can't wait for everybody to join us for our Blueprint to College Success on Saturday, July 11th. From 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at 730 East Park Boulevard, Suite 104 in Plano. And the seats are limited. Please register now because our seats are so limited. And thank you so much, Aarti, for this.
Thank you for having me.
See you all on July 11th. Bye.